Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to our weekly live show here at Healthier Home Products. My name's Corey, aka Lean Green Dad, and with me I have Ken Arnswald from Healthier Home Products. How's it going, Ken?
It's going well, man. It's going well.
So listen, we're talking about our animal friends, and today, I guess last week we talked about kind of pesticides and how pesticides were dangerous for you and your family to be putting around your house, and we talked about some different alternatives. And today we're kind of extending that conversation because the little insects and the bugs that we were talking about, some of those little bugs can jump onto our animal friends, our pets, our dogs, our cats. And one of the things that we think of, is the fleas and ticks, of course, right? And so what do? We just go get a flea and tick collar, right? But is that the best solution? And what is it actually doing when you take a deep dive and actually look at that stuff? So we're going to talk about that. Ken, I know that you've got some great thoughts behind this, and you had a story that you wanted to share with us first, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a troubling thing. It's one of those things that probably isn't top of mind until somebody actually pokes you a little bit and you start thinking about it a little bit. But
yeah,
those collars, you have to look at what's really going on. People say, oh, you put it on within minutes, you're going to be getting rid of fleas and ticks, and it's like, well, yeah, no wonder why. If you soak your animal in gasoline, you're going to get rid of fleas and ticks as well.
Yeah.
But a lot of those, these are big name brands. A lot of those have, there's a class of chemicals called organophosphates that are really, really dangerous. And a lot of these collars have multiple pesticides on them with compounding issues. And, we talk about this in different ways, Corey, in the past. And I've always used that example. I say, if you take garlic and rub it on your ankle in time, you're going to taste it in your mouth. And the reason is your skin absorbs. So you take these nasty frickin' chemicals and you put them on your pet's neck. You hang them on your pet's neck. And, what's going on there? That it's being absorbed into that animal. In fact, there was a study, very interesting study that was done, I think, last year that showed that the residue lasts for weeks and months on your pet.
Yeah.
And you have to, I mean, these are carcinogen products we're talking about. These are not good chemicals. And you think about all that goes on with this. You can't get this into a waterway because it's toxic to aquatic life. And if your pet rubs against the sofa, you're going to have that chemical on your sofa. Your kids start petting your pet. They're going to have it on their skin. You will too. You will too. Right. Now, the danger, of course, is kids. And these chemicals are even more dramatic with younger children, pregnant women. You're asking for neurological problems with this. And what I was going to get to is, the aha moment was one of my friends had a pet, and the breed was, it was known to have some organ issues at some point, like kidney problems. But they used to use a flea and tick collar. And, lo and behold, the dog was getting, peculiar signs and whatnot else. And long story short, kidney failure, and then now the guilt comes in, because after you learn about this, you're like, what the hell was I doing? But you didn't know. So you didn't know what you didn't know. But now that you're hanging these chemicals, nasty chemicals, by the way, on your pet's neck. And it's getting drawn into that poor animal. I mean, you can Google this. You don't have to listen to me. You can Google this and take a look at all of these horrid things that happen to pets. And I don't want to get into them all right now. It's tearful. But now that you know what you say, well, I'm gonna look twice at these things and make sure I'm not putting something horrid on my poor pet. And like I said, think about what I just said about your pet brushing up against the sofa, your pet maybe in your bed. Your kids. And here's the other, if you've got multiple pets, I've always had multiple pets, whether cats and dogs or many dogs. Dogs can, their dogs with the dog, they play and whatnot else. Now, the dog can't lick its own collar, but it can sure as hell lick the collar of its, playmate. Mm-hmm. So chewing on that collar, you think about that, and it's just a horrid experience. So now that you know what you know, I mean, there's better things to do than just that. And, we can talk about some of those things as well.
Yeah, yeah, I'd love to know because I'm sure some people are like, look, I totally am vibing with that, but these fleas and ticks, like I don't want them in my house. What am I supposed to do? Right. I mean, just like me last week, we were talking about, look, I had an ant and infestation, and like I didn't know what to do, so am I supposed to go out and buy the toxic stuff? Because that's the only thing that works. I mean, obviously I don't want to do that. So the good news is I found a company. I won't say the name of the company, but they're super environmentally safe
Aware.
and green. Like they're awesome. And so not one of the big box, pesticide spraying companies, just a great local company that I found. They came by and they treated my house and they're looking at things like, hey, are things sealed up? What is the food source? Like the things that we should be looking at instead of just like spraying away the problem. So I guess, Ken, like what are some of the alternatives to helping get rid of these fleas off our furry friends?
Right. Well, one of the things, and my last dog that's no longer with us, which I miss her daily, Heidi. She was a lab. She loved getting brushed. Loved it. I mean, if I just took the brush out, she would be wagging her tail. She couldn't wait to sit outside. She knew exactly where it was going to be. She'd be out on the deck, and I would just be brushing her. And they've got great brushes. For her, it was a Furminator, but they've got these great flea brushes they'll take them all off. I mean, they will take them all off. So just take your time. I mean, Heidi used to just love to sit there and just let me comb her. That was just a treat for her. So that's something very simple. Second thing, wash the bedding, vacuum. Those are two simple things. You want to keep those out. Lastly, this is super simple. Wash your dog. Wash your dog. Soapy water will kill fleas. Soapy water will kill fleas. I'll say it again. Soapy water will kill fleas. You don't have to put toxic stuff on your pet. You don't have to do it. So keep that. And here's a checkpoint I want to ask for this, because I even had this with a vet, and it was a kind of a wake-up call for the vet, because I was asking about these collars, and he was somewhat dismissive. But then we started talking a little bit about the chemistry. And I said, would you put these on your kid's neck? And he said, well, no. That should tell you something. That should tell you something. I mean, your pets are an extension of your family. So if you wouldn't put this on your own neck, it's like the same thing with shock collars. There's some trainers that say, have a shock. Would you like a shock collar on your neck? Would you like maybe sometimes you do wish you had a shock collar on your kid's neck. But I mean, most people, I think that was in the 50s, the one flew over the cuckoo's nest. That kind of went away, the shock collar stuff. But if you wouldn't do it to yourself, or you wouldn't do it to your kids, that might be your check in reality, and say, maybe I shouldn't do that to my dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, rather than be like my friend who had now he lives with this guilt and saying, maybe I shouldn't have done that. It wasn't anything intentional, but when he started to investigate, and this is a big brand, that the collar that he used on his dog. And I'm not saying it was the only thing that led to it, but you sure put your animal in harm's way by adding to the toxin load, whether it's skin absorption or, God forbid, chewing. The chewing is horrendous. Yeah. What can happen?
Yeah, going straight into the system.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about combing. We talked about washing with soap and water. What was the third one? I feel like there was a third.
Vacuuming and washing the bedding.
Oh yeah, washing your own bedding. Now, does it matter hot water, cold water? Does it matter?
Soapy water. Soapy water.
Okay.
I mean, soapy water. It destroys the flea. It's there's no way for him to breathe, to live.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. So
super simple, not real tough things, but I just want to hope we tell people, be thoughtful about what you're doing, and I will say there are greener therapies out there, but even like the chewables, there's a lot, you got to really pay attention to what's going on out there. A lot of these chewables have fall under FDA warnings right now because they've caused neurological problems in pets. So you got to be very careful what you're doing. And sometimes the simplest thing is the easiest thing. Your animal's going to love getting brushed. Brush your dog. I mean, that's as simple as it is. It's not that complicated.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, guys, I hope that this has been helpful. I mean, it's a short show today, but we just wanted to bring you a couple quick tips to keep this top of mind for you. When we talk about your family, safer for your kids and your family, our dogs, our cats, our fluffy friends are included in that family for so many of us. And so we want to bring this information to you. There's also a resource. It's a totally free resource. I want you guys to go check out. just go to healthierhomeproducts.com. And on the homepage, you'll find a little fly-in that'll give you a free guide to how to detoxify your home, how to make your own cleaner. And you know what? If you're interested and you want to learn more, you can, clean your walls, you can clean your bathroom, you can clean everything in your house with products that are safer and still equally, if not more powerful than the stuff you would find in the grocery store. So, do the right thing for your family, for your pets, and go check it out. And if you have any questions, of course, hey, if you do end up buying a product, you're going to hear from Ken. He sends the email. So if you have any questions, just ask us. Healthier Home Products is a company in, Batavia, Illinois, and they are ready to help you, keep your house clean. Because when you have a healthier home, you have a cleaner home and a happier home, and that's what it's all about.
It's absolutely true. I want to add a little anecdote to that. As I've been sharing a little bit, this last weekend was another continuing weekend. My mother, I've been helping her get through some stages as she's moving on, hopefully transitioning out of her house into a condo.
Yeah.
And, there's things that just build up over time. But she shared with me, because we're kind of taking it room by room, like our 30-day challenge. We've done all that. And she told me how wonderful. She just feels less stressed as the clutter kind of disappears.
Yeah.
That was great to hear, because it's a lot of work doing the things, but you do them out of love with your parents and whatnot else. But it was really nice to hear how it was affecting her physiologically and psychologically, just having a cleaner, less cluttered area. So that was all it took. I didn't care how much time I spent with her Sunday getting it done. It was nice to hear that. So
yeah, love it. All right. Well, thanks again for watching, everybody. Check us out every Monday at 4:30 Eastern. We'll be here for you. And if you have any questions, just send us a message. Of course, you can do that from the homepage of healthierhomeproducts.com as well. Until next time, everybody, take care.
We'll see you.